Wolf gets 2, but they both deal 20%, and both are guaranteed, then there's not really much of a difference.
Yeah.
Just an execution check, one that Webb passes every single time.
Oh, yeah.
The difference will be the range and the spacings that each other play at. Is Webb going to be able to effectively approach, given Wolf's solid disjoints on things like fair, forward tilt, and air? Like, those hitboxes are big and require Webb to play around them with effectively and consistently. Meanwhile, Jackal, can he maintain Webb at that space and approach in and out at his own timing and at his own tempo, rather than constantly wet Webb and those incredibly fast and fluid movements, as you were talking about a little earlier, Jellyfish? Is he going to allow Webb just completely dominate the tempo of the game? We'll have to find out.
Well, when you throw out moves like an up smash pretty early, you're kind of just gifting WebbJP this opportunity.
True.
But this is what I was talking about. This very, very slow and steady gameplay from Jackal, just sending out lasers and then maybe catching WebbJP jumping and then getting a juggle, getting a nair off, because I feel like Wolf has a lot of priority compared to Sheik. So it's a lot of, you know, ifs, ands, and buts. But what we know for certain is that both of these guys are scrapping.
Yeah, they're putting it back and forth, with Jackal choosing to let out his hitboxes at pretty early timing to contest with Webb's more empty movement, forcing Webb then to either delay his hitboxes or make them earlier, slightly throwing off his combo timing. And if we're not having Sheik throughout those full combos, then suddenly you're at a little bit of a deficit playing the single or two-hit game against a character like Wolf. And again, that early timing from Jackal paying off, the up smash, letting it rip, finding the stock. Jackal up 1 stock here in this game number 1.
Cool. Oh, wow.
Hold
that
down.
up B actually hitting right below that stage. So Jackal going to take as much damage as he can because, you know, at 27%, gets the needles, but doesn't find a good punish for it. All right, Webb is, you know, kind of, it's not really a lot of panicking per se, but it's definitely him trying to find this kill and just not able to.
Now, huge, big thing for Webb, though. He did come all the way from losers in like winners round 2 to make top 8, and also in the losers 7ths he beat the person that sent him into losers, which was Seal. So not sure if he shifted off of the Sheik. I doubt it, though, given how he's so dedicated to this character, and hopefully that dedication will pay off here today. Top 8, but the bouncing fish missed. Too high for needle confirms. Officially is too high for life, and that is definitely something that Webb was starting to feel. That dash down smash was a let rip, and thankfully it connected, leaving himself open for a punish, but not if you take that stock.
Yeah, and that down smash was the biggest gamble of his entire life, right? He just had to go for it, right? It's like, at this point, when you have Wolf at such a high percentage, especially as Sheik, you just gotta go. You gotta hope and pray. And right now, WebbJP trying his best to slow the pace down. Maybe, you know, change the momentum towards his side while Jackal is trying to run away. Oh, gets the up tilt, punishing that needle from WebbJP. Really, Jackal's just been punishing Webb so well, and I think that's just what's causing Webb to struggle right now.
Yeah, and even just the little specific scenarios, like that needles, like recognizing that not enough needles,
oh my God.
So found a conversion off of being hit, negative on hit. Like that's pretty nice. An equally nice conversion there from Webb, but 70% leads cold comfort when you're already at 80 and down a stock.
Right. So it's like he almost can't risk anything, but I feel like Sheik just has to. So, all right, good up B. How do you find the stock potential? What combos can you do? Because I feel like, and I'll probably mention this a little bit later, it's just, can Webb put Jackal in disadvantage? Because he just hasn't.
Off stage is a good start. Burning the needles a little bit early a couple of these times, but that soft nair was definitely set up, tossing out a ton of needles in the downward angle when you jump, which can hit certain ledge hangs if you space it right. So Jackal needing to get up, falls right into the soft nair, the bouncing fish. The opportunity is there. The edge guard is certainly on the table. Wolf is a character that definitely can be gimped.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was like that ability to be able to gimp Wolf, excuse me, voice crack, gosh. With, you know, gravity grenade, needles, it's all about timing at that point. And right now, WebbJP hasn't been the most accurate with his timing.
Ooh, Jackal playing a little bit safe, looking for forward tilt, just trying to trade with Sheik. Honestly, that's step 1 of the game plan. Like, if you can trade with Sheik, oftentimes you'll end her stock before she ends yours. 150 now on to this Sheik, though, being very, very hard to hit. I love these run-up jab ones, but both players are not finding that meaningful hit that they really need. Jellyfish dash attack to set up for disadvantage, but Wolf lands just as easily. Oh!
No, you saw the vision with that needle, trying to go for that, I believe, up smash or even forward smash. Really? Oh, the deep forward are gonna kill. Sheik, why are you so light?
You get Jackal like chuckling and running his hands like that's a move you don't. Yeah, not like a villain.
Yeah.
Jackal was team hero after all. Either way, though, that's not typically how you want to end a game as Wolf. You're looking to set up and find something like a dash attack after a long grounded string, utilizing laser or, what have you, ending a conversion with an aerial. But a win's a win, and you're going to take that to the bank and move on to game 2 and hopefully not let Webb hit some of that flow state he was starting to get into late in that game number 1.
Right, and I was going to mention it how WebbJP needs to find Jackal off stage and then time his needles, his bouncing fishes, because, again, Wolf has a very, very obvious recovery route for the most part, and it's all horizontal. We saw Zomba be able to punish that for the most part. So I need to see Webb do the same thing. Gravity Grenade offers so many chances to find very early kills as well. So WebbJP just hasn't had that, again, opportunity to send Jackal off stage. That just goes to show his defensive plays.
Yeah, Jackal's
really, really good.
One of the premier defensive players, and it's paying off time and time again.
Yeah.
Looking really good. Though here is Webb.
Okay.
Finally, the coverage.
There you go.
Soft bear conversions off the needles. Didn't look true, but definitely a solid follow-up if Jackal chose nothing, which sometimes players end up doing. You can call him out real hard. Webb finally with a lead here in this set. Let's see if he can take it for a ride. Just the forward throw.
Yep. Just simple stuff. Going for that ledge trump. Oh, but going for the up smash. Trying to see if Webb was going to drop shield or not, and definitely wasn't. He's trying to keep the stock as much as possible, especially with Rage, adding up for Webb, and that's going to be immediately gone. Commentator's curse at its finest.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, tough world for us.
Yeah, 07, man. Still, I like where Webb's head's at when it comes to applying his offense. It's just a matter of timings that I think I want to see him change up. Throwing some empty hops, some dash, some just dash and dash back. Early in game number 1, we were seeing some jab 1-2s and then either dash away or space it down tilt. Maybe start to integrate that a little bit more because Jackal is getting a little bit comfortable with swinging at the same timing and finding massive reward. Case in point, a rising fair converting into 60%. Then plus that following nair combo, which was at least early for the soft nair to hit. This is a lot of Jackal calling out timings and putting hitboxes out already where he knows Webb is going to be.
Yeah, and comfortable doesn't necessarily have to mean, zoning out your opponent. It could just mean being able to invade your opponent's airspace and being like, all right, I know that I have the priority here. Oh, is Webb going to find something? Gets that jab off. But yeah, no, it's like Jackal's, again, in the zone, whereas Webb, his airspace has been invaded so much. I feel like a lot of Webb's game plan has just been snuffed out by what, a forward air.
Yeah. A forward air, an air, something of the and setups on these platforms where you normally like to see, oh, this is no jump on Jackal.
What an up B! Just catching that jump from Jackal.
That was nice.
That was very, very nice. He was saving up for that one specific moment that Jackal was going to jump. And he got it right perfectly.
Yeah, plays like that are huge, but they oftentimes don't work more than once. So if you're going to let rip a play like that, you need to make it count and convert this game into a win rather than just a cool stock.
Right, exactly. All right. Off stage, WebbJP has just been gifted so much, ability to come back on the stage. Oh, but the up smash. Most of Jackal's stocks haven't really been from back air, which is something that, you see Wolf go for a lot. But that just goes to show that Webb, it's so scary to try and edge guard or even ledge trap this character because she can move so fluidly.
So well. And we're seeing it right now. We saw a lot of empty movement, utilizing needles, covering space with just the sheer feint and making sure that Jackal can makes every movement and decision very, very measured. Because if he doesn't, then she can just keep him into the corner, forced off stage, and finding some really good damage while he's at it. A great retaliation, though, from Jackal, finding a place of comfort and turning it into massive damage. It is even thus far. threatening up quite a bit with some of these soft nairs, but at these percentages, you're looking for a landing fair, yet it's not something that Jackal's telegraphing, maybe saving it for a later game, but gotta get through this first game. Oh, you're not getting out of this first game with anything but an L. What a conversion there from WebbJP. The B reverse needles with a full stack. If you're able to connect a full stack of needles, that is every Sheik's dream. And Webb converting big off of it because you have all of that time to react, and he has all of that practice, so his hands do not forget.
Now, in this next game, you were talking about, you know, these players saving different options or different reads for later. One thing that I noticed is that WebbJP loves to, you know, kind of hang on ledge for a little bit too long. And we know that F tilt and even down tilt can be able to counter that. So I do want to see if Jackal pitches on to WebbJP, hanging on ledge a little bit too much, you know, being a little bit more too comfortable off stage and then punishing accordingly. Because Sheik stocks can get, I love that low profile, but Sheik stocks can definitely be eviscerated. It's whether or not Jackal can find these hits. And speaking of finding hits, woo, Webb.
All right, we're starting to see Webb get a little bit cozy, to say the least, a little bit chompy. Taking a bite out of Jackal instantaneously with a couple just solid frame traps. And like, even if the combo drops or ends, Sheik is still typically in a position to follow up afterwards. Has to air dodge to ledge. 96, 100% now, nearly unanswered. Yet Webb is showing no worse for wear, constantly finding follow-ups and just winning neutral, even if it's just forcing Jackal into an uncomfortable position, getting rid of that comfortability that you were talking about, that Jackal looked so much to be in.
Yeah, so we're seeing Webb make a few mistakes, going for those down airs on, you know, on shield, which I guess he's looking for a potential shield poke, but hasn't been able to find that. And it's really been a story of both these guys not finding these different openings, and even though it's sometimes present to them, so it's just, I wonder if it's awareness or maybe both. Everyone's just sending out everything at the same time, and there you go. All
right, so let me tell you two things. One, tipper down tilt into up air is such a premier kill confirm coming out from Sheik at a lot of these high percentages, like the 100 to 130 range. Really, really important to her game plan that you land a tipper down tilt. What Webb tries to do a lot of times is combo jab 1-2 into that tipper down tilt, but it's a very, very tight window. Hence where you see like the rapid jab come out instead of that down tilt instead. So important to recognize that that's what Webb is typically going for at those high percents. It's just a matter of can he find it and can he land it, or if he's just going to find the tipper down tilt off of something like catching a landing.
Yeah, and he's close to finding the stock too, the second stock against Jackal, while still maintaining his first stock. I'm surprised he didn't die there. But
Sour Wolf back air, not as potent as the sweet spot, as we see yet again. Sour hit, still not closing out the stock, and Sheik's a rather light character. Love that. You teleport back, hit the edge of the stage first, and then grab a ledge, so it refreshes your invulnerability.
All right. You're still alive!
Wolf back throw sucks. Like, the amount of times I see it not close out of stock against a light character at 150, criminal.
Now,
he doesn't need it. But it's hilarious that it's like always looks like it's gonna close out of stock, and it just ends up not.
Yeah, and this is just me being curious, right? Oh, he's trying to go for it again.
Yo, that pepper was so good.
I know.
He only saw it once, and he perfectly counterplayed it.
All right, now this is just me being a little bit curious, right? Why is WebbJP, you know, when he has needles, right? You're seeing Jackal, of course, go for lasers off stage to potentially catch a jump from WebbJP where he air dodges.
Right.
I feel like, why hasn't WebbJP done the same thing with needles? It might, you know, not be optimal, of course, but maybe catching a jump or something like a gimp with those needles off stage.
It's just like a grounded toss and an aerial toss.
Oh, yeah. So like when you're grounded, right? And then you're trying to, hit it forward. When Jackal's trying to come back, right, trying to jump in to then, you know, grabbing the ledge, I wonder why WebbJP hasn't really, you know, thrown out at least one needle, maybe to send him off stage, or maybe, oh my days.
Jabbed him off.
What the?
That suit your fancy there, bud?
Hey, there you go. I got my answer, guys.
Typically, most of the time, Webb's decision-making is based on like what's optimal for him, what's he's practiced, what's he's labbed. And a lot of times, the best thing for Sheik to go into is a conversion off of needles, whether it be up smash or down smash or forward smash on stage, some sort of like big finisher, or off stage, typically bouncing fish. And that's what he's typically looking for, not just as coverage, but as the answer to coverage, like force the air dodge and then punish with needles.
Yeah, I'm still in my my young Link mindset where I can just throw out stuff like that. But no, that makes complete sense, and it's been working. It's been paying dividends right now for WebbJP, right? Just to be able to force Jackal into different scenarios, good down air into that up air. Just he's finding these conversions much easier than compared to game number 1. So
missed the fastfall there. That forward air could have been something big.
Yeah.
Instead, we're just going to take the bevy of frame traps instead, missing the tech roll on the platform, but still looking good. Rage Sheik is a monster in this game because that added knockback growth can convert combos that are just normally good damage into kill combos with something like sweet spot back air or up air, what have you, bouncing fish especially. But still, Jackal has tamed the beast for a moment, needs to just find a way to get something going for him. It feels like we haven't really seen Jackal find like even something like a down throw into dash attack or a up throw into up air, a forward air into dash attack. Like there's been none of that. There's just been like single hit, play the game. Single hit, play the game. And that's an exhausting way to play.
Speaking of exhausting, time might have been flying by because we were having fun, but how are we 96? I'm not going to talk anymore. Oh my god. I was going to say we might go into time, but clearly Jackal had different plans.
Holy God damn.
Oh, there you go.
Webb was cooking. Webb had every ounce of control, but one of the hardest things about Sheik is that so much of her X Factor is based on an execution test and setup and conditioning. And you know what? Wolf doesn't have a ton of X Factor, but he has that.
Yeah.
And that is everything, and it can make the difference between sets because suddenly a 2-1 for Webb that seemed like a foregone conclusion is now 2-1 for Jackal with the wind in his sails.
Yeah, that was unfortunate from WebbJP, but again, good coverage overall from Jackal. I think that's what I'm gonna, really admire him for. It's just while he doesn't have a lot of, he can't find all these opportunities. When he does, he makes the most out of it. He makes all these hits count, and he's super consistent. Of course, with that Wolf Flash, we've seen it so many times from Jackal be able to spike and kill so many people out of that forward air or even down throw.
Yeah, it's a last resort option, but one that Jackal is ready to pull the trigger on when he sees it. And he saw his opening for sure there, Jellyfish. Let's see if that can convert into something big, or if Webb is able to stabilize. Looking like the latter right now, but the early start for Jackal certainly leaves a lot of openings. Man, like just losing that game sucks for Webb, and I really want to stress because momentum is everything in competition, and if Webb is starting to feel like he's slowing down, that's really tough. Ooh. Oh, but there's no rust on any of these gears, and he is looking real nice with that down air mix-up and converting into a stock.
Yeah, I can definitely tell that WebbJP is a little bit more warm, like I mentioned before, but it's just really down to if he can hit all these conversions and really maybe catch Jackal going for these air dodges out of these forward airs or out of hit stun, because he's been doing that a lot. Oh, WebbJP sending Jackal off stage, getting a few up tilts, getting a few forward tilts, doing a lot of damage, potentially looking for the stock right now. You're also sent off stage. Good grab being made.
Jackal again behind the 8-ball. Finds a grab on the needle. Certainly tough. Looking for the shield poke there. Landed one high back air. Looked for a second. Wasn't able to connect. Almost getting lapped in percent here, Jellyfish. Man, Webb is just hunting and reacting to so many of these options. Just
the Hunter's getting hunted right now.
It's like if A then B type of like offense from WebbJP. Like finds a hit, looks for platform. Jackal jumped, cover the landing. Off ledge, pressure an air. If that doesn't hit, then like flow into something else, like an air into down tilt to catch the neutral, get up into a conversion. Just constantly stepping through their offense. If one doesn't work, we're not worried about what happened first. We're worried about what's happening right now. I mean, for Jackal, that's a big stock to pick up, but man, you are so far behind here. It's just, you're going to need a whole lot more fair to flashes.
Yeah, literally. It's one of those things where I believe that Jackal has the ability to bring this back.
Very true.
But so long as WebbJP stays in advantage, has stage control, it's going to look a little bit grim for Jackal. I mean, we saw he brought it back game number 3, right? So he can definitely do it again, and right now he is doing immense amounts of damage against WebbJP, who is kind of going in a little bit. too much.
Webb is not going to back off here and play to a game plan that hasn't been successful. He tried playing Jackal's single hit game. It didn't work. It didn't work at all. He got 2 stocked, I think. So instead, why mess with something that's working? And applying pressure, staying active, playing aggro, but in a way that Sheik can, which is so safe, while also applying that pressure, that's what's working. And why deviate from a good thing?
Right, and it works. WebbJP into a game number 5. So both of these guys are really getting into each other's faces. Webb more than Jackal, of course, but I do want to see if Jackal can handle that heat from WebbJP a little bit more, because I kind of saw him get choked out by that. Like he started air dodging a little bit too much, dropping shield, and then ultimately losing stocks because of really good combos. Even so, not even like, you know, horizontally, vertically. And so, ooh, Town and City.
Respectable, honestly. Like, if you're looking for space and to get Webb out of his comfort zone, Pokemon Stadium 2 is typically that comfort zone. Start off with a solid combo, 50%. Hopefully going to be unanswered for a little bit of that from Jackal. And the Needles will break that. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe both of these players still have so much in the tank. Like, Jackal has made it through winners, but had a exhausting Game 5 set, and now is going back-to-back Game 5 sets with 2 amazing players. Meanwhile, Webb, while he 3-0'd Seal in Losers 7ths, he had a long Losers run in order to get even to where he is right now. They've got to be running on a little bit of empty. Let's see who's able to outlast the other, or is they're both able to prove me wrong and just turn up in the 11th hour.
The Jets definitely do need to be turned on for Jackal right now. I mean, honestly, I feel like he can kind of just play a little bit more slow, which he has been doing very well. Kind of just trying to space more than, you know, mash all these different moves, mash all these different options. Of course, landing there is going to be good, but even so, he's trying to space. He's trying to make sure that he doesn't get too close to Webb, but in a comfortable position to where he can get these back airs, these areas off.
Going for forward throw then, just focusing on the offstage game like you're mentioning earlier. Like, just having Wolf offstage offers so much. Having Sheik offstage can be so spontaneous if Webb finds and plays his cards right. Grabbing him out of up smash there. Jackal still trying to find those reversals, but Webb is just forcing the timings to be a little bit great. Ledge trump DI, making it back to center. It's the little bits of defense that are giving Jackal the edge here, as we are getting to some pretty maximum percentages.
Yeah, it's getting scary, especially in Town and City as well. I'm not expecting these guys to live this long on a stage with small side blast zones, so. Oh, he's trying to go for it. Wait, he missed that!
He missed the ledge, but got pushed off by Jackal. Body blocking at its finest. Super tough, because you know Jackal just wanted something like he wanted a forward tilt, could have gone for a late dash attack there. Either way, stock dropped, meaning Webb gains the opportunity, gains the opening, and takes it to the bank. He's cashing out of the ATM.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cash on the line too. So
the money's on the floor.
He's picking it up.
He's picking dollar bills across the floor, and then we are looking to see if Jackal can kind of get into the money himself. No, not that. He didn't down angle the forward tilt, but he still picked up the stock. Seeing Webb get a little bit too greedy with that reversal.
Right, definitely. And so, of course, with Webb right now, with this lead, and getting quite the damage. Oh, you could. He was trying to go for that jab 1-2, but just couldn't get it. Tries to make the most damage out of this scenario. And I feel like it's really just been a game of nares from both these guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is kind of a game where Jackal wants to play though. He wants to play the reversal game. He wants Sheik to be unsafe. But it's really hard to make Sheik unsafe, because, man, Wolf flashing to ledge, the burst grenade throwing off the drift, and all of a sudden, Needles into bouncing fish. Webb up a full stock, ready to eliminate Jackal from the Scarlet Classic number 9.
It's looking very bleak right now, but of course WebbJP, a former Rutgers student himself, trying to make it known that, hey, I haven't technically left this place yet. And keeping his name out there, you're gonna get huge damage. And once again, sending Jackal off stage. That up tilt catching that dropped shield. Oh,
the timing mix-ups.
God.
Brutal, but brilliant along with its brutality. It started with down air. Normally, Jackal had been trying to parry into up smash or parry into neutral air, or just throw out a neutral air shield. Like, play the reversal game. The down air stalls your momentum, then it creates a spiking hitbox to follow up on. Webb, being so practiced, follows up on it. And instead of trying to throw out soft nair of something that Jackal has been expecting, like a jump, throw out the nair, then let it land with it, he instead waits a beat, gets hard nair instead, which still converts at those percentages. That is masterful, masterful play on the part of WebbJP, knowing all of his hit confirms, knowing what timing he needs to press all of his buttons at in order to find the hit and convert big on top of everything. That is a type of conversion with the hard nair into bouncing fish that Webb hadn't really gone for. It's always been like soft nair follow-ups or just converting into grabs. Waiting for hard nair in at the final stock of game number 5, that's some late game conditioning that really worked out in Webb's favor.
Yeah,
beautiful,
and
beautiful, beautiful.
It was so cool to see Webb not really rely on the strong hits of Sheik. And I feel like it's so weird, right, in this game to not have to rely on strong hits. That was a very nice reversal.
I know, it could have changed the set, and honestly, like, we would be talking about that moment more if Jackal was able to close out game number 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But Webb kept himself short, kept himself stable. And that kind of mentality is amazing to watch grow in a competitor, because it's when you transcend any sort of like individual interactions shaking you. Yeah. Now you're not always in a good mentality when things are going well and a bad one when things are going bad. Yeah. You are stable. You are just perfectly calm regardless of the income, outcome, and moment-to-moment gameplay. And that is a player at their most dangerous.
Definitely. And it took him a bit, right? But eventually he got into that stage of gameplay where he's hitting these confirms very consistently, right. Whereas he was a little bit rusty. He was like, trying to adjust himself. He made the right adjustments, and it was clear as day against Jackal, especially in that Town and City game where, and even the game 4 on I believe it was still PS2, where he just got so many needles off, so many conversions off with bouncing fish, and was able to capitalize on ending stocks fairly early. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty consistently, and consistency is the name of the game when it comes to just about any fighting game, but a platform fighter like Smash in specific. But you know what is coming at you with consistency? It's those ads, including the Collision Series running events all across the week. You can find events on twitch.tv/Collision Series TV, which is what you're watching right now, including the Monday event, which you hear later, as well as Base Day Beatdown, Elite Smash Fridays. There's just so much growth going on here at Collision Series, which with events, production, and content. And you can follow all of our socials, which you can see right there on screen.
Right, and if you guys want to support Collision as well, they run Fusion at Rawway and River City Gaming. Again, one of the greatest arcades I've ever seen in New Jersey, with a lot of really, really good food around it, too. So, hey, guys, if you want to bite while you're playing, 6 p.m. is when the doors open, 7 o'clock is when the bracket starts. So if you guys want to see people like Jackal and WebbJP and play against them, hey, come by to Fusion on Mondays.
And if you're not able to come by on Mondays but are still looking for some tri-state action, look no further than New York with the Xeno Weeklies, House of 3000 running out of Xeno Zero Gaming. Check them out while they are still there at twitch.tv/House of 3000 with all of the updates at Devon 3000, because House 3000 is still banned. But even when House gets unbanned, whenever that may be, follow Devon anyway, because it's A, you get to learn what Devon's up to, and B, it's really funny for Devon's number to be big because he doesn't use his account otherwise.